Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Well, we're not Ethan and Sarah, but we are Chris and Kelly, again, taking care of Around the Ozarks News for your Tuesday morning. And a lot going on in the news, some good, some bad, but we're going to go ahead and dive right on into it. But first, Kelly, thank you for joining me once again this morning. How are we doing?
Happy to do it. Great. Happy to be here. Always love to read the news and listen to this program. So it's awesome that I get to contribute and now read and share for everyone to hear. So let's get into it.
Your pastime, huh? All right, let's get into it. A massive search is underway in the Missouri Boot Hill for Zachary Rance Walker, who is a 42-year-old local man considered armed and dangerous. Now, the Missouri State Highway Patrol triggered a statewide blue alert following a violent confrontation in Cartersville on Sunday, May 17th. Now, according to the state troopers, the incident did unfold around 2:10 a.m. when officers approached a large crowd. Now, Walker, who also goes by White Boy Chuck, allegedly opened fire on two local officers with a semi-automatic rifle. Now, the officers returned fire before Walker fled the scene in a vehicle, which police later found crashed and abandoned just 2 blocks away. Now, while no officer was injured, investigators do believe that Walker was wounded in the shootout. He is described as 5'9", 180 pounds, with graying hair, blue eyes, and extensive tattoos. Now, he has last been seen wearing a navy graphic T-shirt, dark shorts, and black lace-up boots. Authorities have warned the public to strictly avoid any confrontation or approaching Walker in any way, and to call 911 immediately with any tips. Again, not a guy you want to approach. If you do see him or somebody fitting that description, again, just call 911.
Yeah, no, it's not up to you to catch him, but a call to action to keep your eye out for him. Together, we can all get this guy where he needs to be.
Right.
And down in Arkansas, a couple was sentenced to prison for extreme child abuse. An Arkansas couple will spend decades behind bars after pleading guilty to the horrific kidnapping and starvation of a teenager. Jacelyn Barnett and Daniel Wright each received 20-year prison terms plus an additional 7-year suspended sentence for first-degree kidnapping. The charges stem from a March investigation revealing the couple locked a naked, starving 15-year-old boy inside a bathroom. In addition to the kidnapping sentences, Barnett received 10 years for false imprisonment and 6 years each for endangering a minor and permitting abuse. Wright was handed a concurrent 10-year sentence on 2 counts of false imprisonment. And just an awful situation. And while justice was served, we got the bad guys. Thoughts and prayers to this child who will no doubt have trauma for years to come.
Can't get that time back. You really can't. Nixon police have tracked down and arrested a suspect accused of walking off with hundreds of dollars in collectibles from a flea market. Daniel Berger was arrested on May 14th in Galena after a month-long investigation into the April theft. Now, authorities say that Berger did stuff, roughly $750 worth of comic books and Pokemon cards into his backpack before speeding away in an orange hatchback. Now, security footage did caught the vehicle on camera, and investigators caught a major break when witnesses spotted Berger attempting to flip the stolen loot in a shop here in Springfield. Following his arrest, police did confirm that Berger did fully confess to both the theft and his attempt to resell the items. Now, again, with a lot of these shops here in town, they keep an eye out for that stuff. They keep records of that stuff. They're very good at keeping an eye out for things that are stolen to making sure that, they're not part of the criminal process. So it's awesome that they got them caught. Unfortunately, the store, though, out $750, which some of those stores, that's a lot.
And once again, it takes all of us. There's no such thing as a bad tip. If you see something, say something, So takes all of us, call to action to get the wrong people behind bars, as you can say. Right. Well, some good news. The Missouri General Assembly wrapped up its 2026 legislative session on Friday, May 15th, on a surprisingly smooth note. Lawmakers approved 100 bills, a massive leap from a modern-day lows of recent years. The centerpiece of the session is a historic $50.7 billion state budget, which includes $48.7 billion for state operations and $2 billion earmarked for construction and infrastructure. Governor Mike Kehoe praised the session as a major win for Missourians, specifically pointing to a sweeping proposal that would completely phase out individual income taxes. If approved by voters on an upcoming ballot, the measure would replace the income tax by expanding the state sales tax. However, critics have already filed lawsuits arguing the shift will unfairly burden low and middle income families. Other notable business and civic bills successfully passed include tax credits for capital businesses' investments, website protections, shielding small businesses from minor ADA violations, Bentley and Mason's law requiring drunk drivers to pay child support if they kill a parent, divorce rights explicitly allowing pregnant women to finalize a divorce, and a ban on intoxicating hemp products taking effect on November 12th. Despite the heavy legislative push, several major priorities collapsed in the final hours, including highly anticipated property tax relief packages and stricter regulations on pharmacy benefit managers. Lots of stuff happening coming out of Jeff City, and it's nice to see things running smoothly. 100 bills passed and all of the different varying things that we got going on that came out of Jeff City. So good job up there, guys.
Right. You win some, you lose some, but 100 bills, that's pretty impressive. Can't argue with that. CoxHealth is shaking up its internal operations with a new restructuring initiative set to take effect on June the 1st. Now, hospital leadership emphasizes that the change will modify specific employees' role to clear up organizational red tape, but will not have any impact on anybody's job security. No layoffs are planned for as part of this shift. The president and CEO, Max Bartow. God damn it, I'm going to start all this from the top.
It's Buto, I think.
Buto, thank you. I don't know why I keep wanting to put an R in there. Well, CoxHealth is shaking up its internal operations with a new restructuring initiative set to take effect on June the 1st. Now, hospital leadership did emphasize that the change will modify specific employee roles to clear up organizational red tape, but will not impact job security. No layoffs are planned as part of this shift. Now, President and CEO Max Bartow did state that the organization is designed to make the hospital system more nimble and responsive to patient needs. Now, a major focal point will be strengthening the system's physician enterprise and streamlining clinical services lines. Now, continuity remains a priority as Cox Medical Group will transition under the leadership of the incoming chief physician, executive, Dr. Jones. So again, a lot going over there at CoxHealth. Again, when you hear that word restructuring, people tend to get a little worried, a little concerned, but no layoffs are planned. So that's a good blessing.
And hopefully some more streamlining in who answers to who to get some things done.
Right. Which will hopefully, again, trickle down to that patient care, making things a little bit more efficient, which is always better, especially with hospital lines these days. It seems like it takes forever to get into a doc. So hopefully this will clear up some of that process.
I don't think we can get too many streamlined things in hospitals when we're in those needs. So, yeah. Well, Springfield schools launch free summer meal program to ensure no local children go hungry when school lets out. Springfield Public Schools is rolling out its annual free summer meals initiative, funded through the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Sun Meals program. The initiative provides completely free food to any child or any teenager aged 18 years and under. The program kicks off at select campus locations from June 1st through the 26th, with a rotating schedule of new sites opening up for July. Parents do not need to register their children or provide any form of ID for them to eat. However, any accompanying adult who wish to enter the facilities must sign in with a valid photo ID. Full site locations and service times are listed directly on the Springfield Public Schools website. And kids go to school to learn, kids go to school for social aspect, but having free meals at schools carrying through the summer, that's going to meet a lot of needs in the Springfield community. Props to Springfield Public Schools for getting that done, providing free meals even through the summer. That's just awesome. Right.
Well, the Missouri Department of Conservation is issuing a final call for hunters to submit applications for the state's limited black bear and elk hunting seasons before the May deadline. Now, driven by the steady 9% annual growth in the local bear population, state biologists have expanded this season's permit pool. This year, MDC will issue 2,000 black bear permits with a collective harvest limited of 60 bears for the October 17th through the 30th season, a massive jump up from the 600 permits that were offered just last year. Additionally, 5 highly coveted elk permits are going to be up for grabs for the upcoming archery and firearm seasons in October and again in December, with priority allocated set aside for some of the local landowners. Now, the interested hunters can apply online through the official Missouri Department of Conservation portal. Again, a 9% annual growth. So to see 600 permits to 2,000 permits, so a lot more hunters are going to have an opportunity to get out there, help control that population, and again, keeping the population safe as well as human beings in the city limits safe. So it's a good deal all around.
And Chris, I have some family members that just stopped listening after 2,000 black bear permits to be issued. They stopped listening. They're still logged in, I know, but they're already on the website. They're already checking in to see how many permits they can get. 60 bears is the goal for October 17th to 30th, and I have some family members that are earmarking about half of that right now. I guarantee it. So, Hy-Vee to host free anniversary breakfast for veterans and military. In celebration of America's 250th anniversary, Hy-Vee grocery stores are hosting a free veterans and military breakfast on Wednesday, May 20th. That's Wednesday, May 20th, or tomorrow. All active duty military members and veterans are invited to visit any regional Hy-Vee location between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. to enjoy a complimentary buffet-style breakfast and fresh coffee. The celebratory meal will be available for both dine-in and carry-out orders. That's tomorrow. Go to Hy-Vee tomorrow.
Mark it on your calendar. A couple of locations in town. Get over there. Enjoy yourself a nice breakfast on Hy-Vee, celebrating 250 years of America, saying thank you to the active members and thank you to those of the past, and for everything that you do for us to be able to say we're celebrating 250 years of freedom in America. So that's fantastic. Well, Kelly, thank you for hanging out with me again this morning as we are knocking out the news. And of course, you can keep up to date with everything going on with Around the Ozarks over at AroundTheOzarks.com. Get on over there, sign up for that daily newsletter so you don't miss when anything's coming your way. Kelly, we'll see you tomorrow morning right here on Around the Ozarks News. So you guys have yourself a great rest of the day. We'll see you.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Gruba Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Here is your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It was kind of a wild night in the Ozarks with rain and thunderstorms on the radar pretty much all night, and we are not done with them yet. Additional chances for showers and thunderstorms do exist out there early this morning, through the afternoon, and even through tonight. I think we have some scattered activity. So it's a rainy day ahead. Make sure you have all the rain gear with you as you head out the door. Temperatures are also going to be noticeably cooler compared to yesterday. Of course, yesterday we had a lot of activity up in central Missouri, northern counties, areas along Highway 54 got a whole lot of rain, 1 to 3 inches area wide just in a day. Of course, we added to that with the rainfall amounts overnight, and it's ongoing in many areas. So a flood watch is in effect for areas north of Highway 60 until 1 p.m. this afternoon. We'll have to watch if that needs to be extended at all as the day wears on. But a lot of activity today. And we're not done with the storm chances just yet. This morning, we're waking up with temperatures in the middle 60s, and we'll only warm to the low and mid 70s today. Numbers will be very comfortable, but you might want to have the rain gear handy. Definitely the rain boots. The ground is going to be pretty soggy after today. We have continuing rain chances through the course of the afternoon, with that flood watch in effect until 1 p.m. for most. As we look at the overall national map, it's a widespread area getting that severe weather threat today. I mean, the threat stretches clear across the country from Texas with heavy rain and flooding for central Texas all the way through Dallas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, the Missouri Ozarks, the Boot Heel, Illinois, up through the Ohio River Valley, all the way through upstate New York. And it's stretching even into Vermont. So there is just a ton of activity possible across the country today, and some of it will carry some severe weather threats with it too. Scattered activity is also in the place as we move into this evening, and there's additional rain in the forecast for the rest of the week. It does not mean every single day is going to be a washout from start to finish, but what it does mean is that we have chances for scattered storm activity each and every day. Of course, today, then even Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I have additional chances for showers and storms, and those are likely going to hang with us as we head through the weekend and through the holiday weekend too. If you're making any outdoor plans for Memorial Day, just know there's going to be a threat for rain in the forecast each and every day, but no one day looks like a total washout. A little preview of the week. Looks pretty soggy. It's about a 40% chance for rain that we hold on to on Wednesday. A little bit better of a chance on Thursday and Friday. Temperatures through the time frame will be rather comfortable. Numbers in the upper 60s as we head into tomorrow. We're back into the mid 70s on Thursday and Friday, but there is a chance for rain out there each day, and generally lows will be back into the 50s. So very mild temperatures in place. But this soggy pattern is going to continue for the rest of the week, and the grass is going to be growing like crazy by the weekend. Around the country, here's what's making weather headlines. It's severe weather across the center of the nation. I told you it stretches all the way from Texas up to Vermont today. While that's happening, we've got fire weather conditions for the Southwest and much of California, and winter is hanging on for portions of the Rockies. They had snowfall reported in the higher elevations of the Rockies yesterday. Not too unusual in May, but snow lovers out west are getting another taste of winter. All right, it's time for that Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question that I had for you yesterday was this: which location holds the official scientific record for the longest continuous dry spell, meaning the most consecutive days without rainfall in recorded history? Do you think that belongs to Death Valley in the U.S., the Sahara Desert in Africa, the Atacama Desert in Chile, or in Antarctica? If you chose Chile, you would be correct. While Antarctica is technically the driest continent overall due to lack of precipitation, the Atacama Desert in Chile holds the record for the longest stretch of absolute drought. It famously did not rain there a single drop for 400 years, from 1570 to 1971. So congrats if C was your guess. Here's your next chance to win $50 to Godfather's Pizza. Before the famous supercontinent Pangaea formed 335 million years ago, there was an even older, massive supercontinent that came before it. What was that one called? Do you think it was A, Gondwana, B, Rodinia, C, Laurasia, or D, Atlantica? Let me know your guess. You can do it at the website. It's aroundtheozarks.com. I think there will be a lot of indoor time in the Ozarks today. So log on to the website, enter the trivia question if you've never done it. Again, you can win $50 to Godfather's Pizza. Thanks so much for listening early this morning. And thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Have a great one, everybody. I'll be back to chat with you first thing tomorrow.